Hey, this is Winston Zeddemore, CEO of Zeddemore Industries and member of the original Ghostbuster team. You're listening to Why We Bust, brought to you by the Windy City Ghostbusters and Memoriam Development. We're talking about members in the community and giving back. So suit up, shut your traps, dial in your PKE, and keep busting. Because it still feels good. And before you ask, no, I did not catch the number of that ghost train. Sorry, I missed it.
Thank you, Winston, for another grand opening of Windy City Ghostbusters Presents Why We Bust. So, welcome back, everyone, to Why We Bust, the podcast where we explore Ghostbusters fandom, one proton-packed journey at a time. I'm your host, Matt Goldenboat, and tonight we're headed across the pond to Scotland, where a newly recharged team is keeping the spirit of bustin' alive and well. Joining us are Graham and Laura Sneider, co-founders of Ghostbusters Alba, a group formed in 2024 from the ashes of a former Scottish franchise. Now stronger than ever, Ghostbusters Alba boasts over 30 active members, 6 ecto vehicles, and a powerful mission to support local charities like Glasgow Children's Hospital Charity and children's hospices across Scotland. Graham and Laura are not just members and co-founders of their team. They're helping lead a Ghostbusters revival that blends community, cosplay, and compassion. Tonight, we'll talk about how they help build this new chapter, what it means to be a part of the Scottish Ghostbusters community, and how Ghostbusters Alba is making a real-world impact. So, let's get into it. Graham, Laura, welcome to the show. How are we doing tonight?
Hello, doing good. Thank you for having us.
Glad to have you on.
Same for me. It's great to be here.
Good stuff. So, let's get into the team a little bit here. So, I mentioned it was formed from the ashes of a former team. What happened? How did that come about?
Okay, well, we can tell you legally as much as possible.
Yeah, I get it.
We, to all intents and purposes, forcibly closed down a previous group who we won't name. So Laura, I, and a third member from the original team, Chris Rocket, decided to form a new franchise to continue doing what we were doing. And the rest, as they say, is history.
It's basically still the same team, but different management. So we had a lot of the same people come back and be with us in the group. As Graham said, our other co-founder, Chris Rocket, we'd all decided that we still wanted to carry on and raise money for charity. So we all decided that we were going to start up a new franchise, and thus Alba was born.
So prosperity allowed the group to kind of come back together, figure it all out, because at the end of the day, what we're all trying to do, actually, a lot of our franchises is give back to the community, right? Give. It's not just about throwing on the proton pack and the flight suit and the boots and
Well, there is that.
There is that. Because that alone for self brings a lot of joy, but being able to do that and give back to, what sounds like some wonderful charities. Tell me a little bit about the 2 charities you guys support, and if there's any others.
Well, for us, it started off with Glasgow Children's Hospital Charity, and our youngest grandson, who was born with a fused skull. So he had to have this immense operation to have it reset, and they were just fantastic with him, and we wanted to give back to them. Obviously, the kids that are in hospital, that's close to our hearts, so that's how we started. But it all started with Graham in a car.
Really?
Yes.
It did?
Yeah. Graham's a petrol head and has always loved Ecto.
So you guys, motorhead, as you guys call it?
I'm a car guy. Petrol head, I got you. I know. Yep, all good.
So car geek. Yeah. So Graham had always loved Ecto and said I'd always love an Ecto. He's called previous cars Ecto, but nothing until we decided that we were going to get a hearse. And Graham?
Well, we had when we first joined the previous group, I converted our daily driver, which is an SUV, into an Ecto, which, and then maybe was it 2 or 3 months later, we bought a hearse, and that became our second Ecto. Oddly, when Frozen Empire came out, and you saw Winston's van, the black Mercedes van, called Ecto Z, people were contacting me saying, "You've had Ecto Z for years. Are you going to give them a cease and desist?" So I'd like to think that they stole that name from me, but I highly doubt it.
You never know.
Yeah, our daily driver is Ecto Z.
Yeah, our daily driver's Ecto Z and the hearse is Ecto X.
I like it. So what kind of hearse is it? What?
You guys would know it as a Cadillac Catira.
Oh, okay.
It's an Opel Omega.
Oh, no, okay.
They were sold in the States as a Cadillac Catira for a couple of years.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, it's 19 foot long. It was decommissioned in 2011. It was an active hearse up until 2011. Then the guy I bought it off, I saved it probably from the banger track. And when I bought it was a standard black hearse. And the admin of a previous group, when I said to him, "Look what I've just bought," and he said, "Okay, you've got 3 weeks to make it into an Ecto." I'm booking it in for a show. And I managed it 3 weeks from a standard black hearse to an Ectomobile.
That's amazing.
And it was literally finished the morning of the event.
That's some passion right there to be able to get that done in a short time frame. I mean, I know how long it takes me to build a pack, like to do a vehicle and to have it ready to show. That's pretty amazing. Now that shows dedication too.
And also while I had COVID.
Throw that in the mix there. And
yeah, so I was trapped at home anyway, so I utilised the time building an Ecto.
That's great. So you guys have 6 Ectos in the fleet. What are some of the other ones?
We have 2, 4 other members. I'd like to say I have 6 of them because that would be a real Uber petrol head. But yeah, 4 other members of the team have Ectos as well. We have Ecto R, which is an Dacia Duster, the same SUV as mine, which belongs to
Russell's.
one of our other administrators, Russell. We have Ecto T, which is a Volkswagen Tiguan, which I'm sure you guys get over there.
Yep. Yep. Know what that is.
Belongs to Mike. We're the last of the 5 admins. And then we have the Ecto Jag, which belongs to John, which is a Jaguar F-Pace. And lastly, we have Ecto 5H, which is a Vauxhall Astra. You get Astras over there, although I think it's a Chevy Astra it's called over there.
I think we have a version of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's an Astra wagon.
Oh, okay.
That belongs to Chris.
Yeah, that's black. That's the engineering vehicle. So
this thing's phenomenal.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
I love it. So where can everybody find your guys' social media stuff? Are you on Facebook and Instagram and?
Yes, and yes.
Yep, we're Alba Busters. You can find us there. Obviously, with everybody losing all their Facebook pages because of having the Ghostbusters on the title, we went to Alba Busters to try kind of get round that. But yeah, that's where you find us on Facebook and on Instagram.
But we will be reverting back to Ghostbusters Alba.
At some point.
The metas told us we need to wait 60 days, but we're led to believe that Sony stepped in and got the problem sorted, so we can revert to the team's original name. We just got to wait another probably another 40 days or something.
Yeah, that's been a real problem across all franchises. I know we've been hit with it. You know, our sister team over here, there's a lot of teams that have been hit with that problem.
Same over here.
Yep. So we just want to get back to people. Like, why you gotta do that? But
yeah, exactly.
It's all those darn algorithms and things like that controlling all that metaverse stuff. I tell you. So
yeah.
So you guys have been 2024 is when your group went active, and you've got 30 members now.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So, what types of are you guys doing any events soon?
Well, we were
Yeah.
to be brutally honest, we were probably the luckiest franchise that's ever existed. Reason being is pretty much every other franchise in the world has started a franchise and then went out looking for events. We were the other way around. We had the events. We just needed the franchise to do them. We work with a company called BGCP, Big Glasgow Comic Page, and they do pop-up Comic Cons all over Scotland. So after the crash of the original group, the owner of that company contacted me and said, we know you're the guys that did the hard work. We're quite happy to have you still continue to come out events as Ghostbusters. So we had a calendar full of events handed straight to us. And also the 30 members, well, we pretty much had all them anyway. They just crossed over. They just basically get patched over with a new patch. So as much as we started a year and we got 30 members, we had the members anyway. I'd like to take the glory from that, but it wouldn't be deserved.
You know what though, having everybody come back and kind of, it sounds like be all hands on deck and just ready to go. Like that's amazing. That shows dedication from your members. I mean, it sounds like you guys have an amazing team going over there. So
we do have an amazing team. They're all amazing. Coming down, we're family.
We're
definitely.
Family.
That's awesome. So since we're still on the team aspect of it here, I want to hear it from each of you individually. What is your favorite type of event to do?
Ooh. We do absolutely everything. We've done gala days, we've done cinema screenings, we've done Comic-Cons, the big Comic-Cons, small ones, pop-ups. But I think that the thing that's best is when the kids are there and you can see them going, "Oh, it's the Ghostbusters," and they get really excited and they're asking about all the equipment and seeing, like, when we do, especially for Chaz. Now, Chaz is one of the charities that we raise money for. We're ambassadors for them, and it's Children's Hospice, and they have a big event at the start of the year, and it's all to raise money for the hospices. And when the kids come in and in their wheelchairs and they're with their carers, and just see them like being wow, all the things that are going on, like other, not just Ghostbusters franchise, but all different, like from Star Wars and Star Trek to Alien, everybody there, and just it's for the kids. So to give them something that when at a not so great moment in their lives, that they have something to keep them going.
That's when you're around kids that are in need and you can give something back to them that puts a smile on their face, that makes your day. You know what? Sometimes it makes your year, like just to be able to give that back to someone. And like if we were joking, you're like we get all dressed up and like we have fun doing it, but being able to see kids just overjoyed and curious, that's what I love about is the curiosity, right? Because I remember being a kid, like you know, there's a big auto mall that's up here, and they've got a replica Ecto one. I can remember being a kid just overjoyed to see this, and now to be in the thick of it and to give that aspect back to kids like Laura, I can see that that's definitely something that hits for you. Graham, what about you? What's your favorite kind of event to do?
I don't like any of them.
Fair enough.
We the comic, the big Comic Cons probably. For a personal point of view, we did a series of events last year at a transport museum. So speaking from the car guy point of view, that's a personal favourite. I enjoy them all. And the funny thing is, before I started trooping as a Ghostbuster, I'd never been to a Comic Con. Laura had, and Laura took our youngest to Comic Con. Incidentally, our youngest is now a member of the team.
Nice.
So my first foray into Comic Cons was going dressed as a Ghostbuster when we joined. So it was something of a. I was like, I wonder what this is going to be like, and I've enjoyed it ever since. I just look as if I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, Graham's known as the Grumpy Buster.
I am
the Grumpy. You know what? We have one of those on our team as well.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, shout out to old man Greg there. I think we found your perfect match over here in Scotland. You guys should have a cup of tea and be grumpy together. I love it.
That sounds like a play date for me. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a class together.
Sign me up.
So what, Graham? What I can remember some of my first experiences at Comic-Con. Like, what was you're dressed as a Ghostbuster? You arrived there. Like, were you overwhelmed, or was it like, okay, this is cool, like I want to keep doing this?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I knew I wanted to do it. Not a big point of it was for the charity side of it. There's a charity side of it. I wouldn't have done it in any other in any other genre because I'm a big Ghostbusters fan. And I don't really see me dressing up as anything else. So I believe that was my calling. But no, I wasn't overwhelmed. I was, well, a little bemused, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I was like, this is crazy. These people are mental. These are my people.
It's that aha moment, like, oh yeah. I belong here.
And I went to my first. To my first Comic Con. We went to in my own niche Ghostbusters character because from the waist up I had a flight suit and a proton pack, and from the waist down I was wearing a kilt.
Yes,
nice.
We have a few kilted busters in the group.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, you know what? You got to represent, and we've talked before. We hope that we hope. We see some international stuff here in the future. I would love to see in media somewhere a kilted Buster. I back that 1,000,000%.
Excellent.
It's like a lot of the franchises in Scotland have some sort of Scottish link in their franchise patch. Like mine's was kind of an idea of the Scottish football team or soccer, as you would say. Then there's Ghostbusters of Scotland. They've got the outline of Scotland. Then there's the Highland Ghostbusters. They've got the clan logo. So yeah, we do represent.
How many teams are there in Scotland?
Oh, and there's also
there's Ghostbusters Aberdeen.
Aberdeen, yeah, they've got Aberdeen in the
Highland Ghostbusters.
And there's a couple of new ones and a couple of new franchises I've just started up recently. So we're just connecting at the minute. So
I did not realize there were so many in Scotland. That's amazing.
Yeah, you can find us on whoyougonnacall.org.
Yep, absolutely.
Where you can we're all listed on there. So can find us there.
That is fantastic.
One of our members is actually a nomad from Ghostbusters Aberdeen, Chris Wallace.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he used to live in Aberdeen, but he lives down near us now. And although he's a member of Ghostbusters Aberdeen, he's our nomad member.
That's cool. You know what? Hey, I fully support crossing over and supporting different teams. If you've got the time to give back to do that, you got my support, man. I run a busy schedule, so sometimes just giving back to us is working it through. But if you could be a nomad member, and absolutely. So we're gonna go back now. So we've got the basis of the team, right? Let's go back, way back. Now, you guys, Laura, I don't know if you know this, but Graham gave me your ages, and I took them out of my opening because I never discuss a woman's age. So
That's all right.
Let's go back to the 80s, and let's go back to 1984 specifically.
I remember it well.
There you go. So what do you guys remember about your first experience with Ghostbusters? Like what was it? Was it the movies, movie? Was it real Ghostbusters afterwards? It sounds like it's going to be the movie.
Shall I begin with this one, dear?
You shall.
I went to see Ghostbusters 1 on Boxing Day 1984. Now, that was back in the days when if a movie came out on your side of the pond, we would get it 6 months later.
Mm-hmm.
Now we get it like 2 or 3 days later. But back then it was Ghostbusters had came out in June in America, and we got it in December. Now, the person who really won out of that was Ray Parker Jr. because the song came out as a single in summertime, and then it was released again at Christmas time, and it was a hit both times. So he was laughing. Well, at least it wasn't until Huey Lewis knocked on his door.
Right.
So I went to. I'm old enough to. I went to see Ghostbusters 1 on a date. I was old enough to be doing that, and it was an uneventful date because I got to see the movie.
That's how that works out sometimes.
And I didn't. I'll be honest. It looked like a bit of a laugh, but I didn't really know what it was all about. But I was captivated. And when the firehouse doors go up and Ecto 1 comes out, I was, she's gorgeous.
I know that feeling.
And then at Christmas time, someone got me the novelization, the novel of the.
The novel with the backward. Did it have the backwards logo? Because you guys are over.
No. The standard logo.
Okay, because I know some of the novelizations, the logo was actually backwards.
No, I'm fairly sure. I mean, it was 41 years ago. As far as I remember, it was the right way around because it wasn't a UK print. It was a worldwide print in English, and it was fairly the movie was fairly faithful to the book. There wasn't a whole lot of difference. It was a bit more extra dialect, etc. If you haven't read it and you get a chance to read it, I highly recommend it.
I still have yet to read it, and that's I cannot believe coming out of my mouth that I have not read it yet. So I will take you up on that, Graham. I am going to find a copy of it and I am going to read it because I have heard that it dives a little bit more into some of the stuff that's going on. So yes. I want to get around to reading that. That's on my summer reading list, we'll say.
Yeah. Explores the background of the 4 Busters more. Or at least
it's also available as an audiobook, Matt.
Right. I can read.
You're a busy dude.
I am, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to take a moment, grab a book, sit down, grab some coffee, and just read. I don't want to have it read to me. So Graham, you were lucky enough to be in the theater and see it.
I was lucky enough, a polite way of saying I'm old enough.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there.
Yes, I saw it in the theater. Yeah.
Yeah. So Laura, what was your first experience?
Well, I was just a wee lass when it came out, so I didn't get to see it in the cinema. But I remember it being on telly and just sitting, and that was it. My favourite is Mr. Stay Puft, because my favourite sweetie at the time was marshmallows, and that was me. I was hooked. I loved Mr. Stay Puft. You can see it. I'm wearing my
He
mini
still
puff.
loves marshmallows.
Nice.
Have you just froze, Laura?
I see at the time.
Yeah, she froze.
There
Frozen.
we
and
go.
Oops, sorry.
Nope, all good. So
All
so
good.
so Stay Puft hit for you. That was what you really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I like that, and it's something that stuck with you now.
Yeah.
All these years later.
Yeah, I love the mini puffs. Yeah.
I think for anybody that is a fan of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, the mini puffs are just amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, they're so fun.
They all have their own little personality.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Chris, our co-founder in the group, printed off. We were at HorrorCon, and he printed off lots of little mini puffs and did them in like Jason and Freddy, and these things were just superb. So yeah, I think we all like a mini puff.
That's great. Hey James, I don't know if you see here, but Jack Girl 747 played Summon the Destructor. Give the cat. Is the cat around? Oh, Graham, you have a cat. too.
So
You got
she
treats for the
can't
cats?
she can't have treats anymore.
No.
Nope.
Well, that's a darn shame.
Yeah, I gotta turn that one off.
Whoops. That's okay. You can give the cat a pet. How's that?
Yeah, she's not here right now.
Oh. We got another. Oh.
There we go.
One behind me just now, completely ignoring me.
Yeah. That's
That's
cat.
Pandora.
Yeah, I've got 3. None of them are in here.
That's cats for you. They never do what you want them to. I tell you. I got one too.
No.
She's apparently my new buddy. She likes to lay on my lap at night. I don't know. Ignored me for years, and all of a sudden she's my best friend. That's how cats roll.
Obviously, you should never get cats if you have self-esteem issues.
This is very true.
They are the most judgmental animals on the planet.
Very true. Those are wise words, Graham. Very wise words. Yeah,
It doesn't matter. As soon as a cat is by about 3 months old, it just looks at you and makes you question your life choices.
Yep, sounds about right. All right, so we've established how you guys first heard about Ghostbusters. Now going after the movie, did you guys get into the cartoons? Did you watch real Ghostbusters? Where did your journey kind of go from there after the movie?
Well, for me, it was kind of, if it was on the telly, I was always watching it, but I never actively went out to watch Ghostbusters. If it was on the telly, I would watch it, but it wasn't until years later. Taking Dylan to one of our Comic Cons, and it was the original group. He said, "Oh, look, there's Ghostbusters. I love Ghostbusters." And then it wasn't until like 2 years later we actually joined the group.
Nice. And then Graham, what after Ghostbusters? What was your journey with it? Was it like just a movie you saw and then it was in the back of your mind for a while, or?
Oh no, it was never just a movie. It was always one of my favourite movies. Certainly of that style. Ecto 1, a close equal with James Bond's Aston Martin, was always my favourite movie car.
Okay.
But no, I always loved the movie. The cartoons, I mean, when the cartoons came on, I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
So I left school and I was out in the working land. So I wouldn't. Right, I'm going to sit down and watch it. I would. I was like, oh, they've made it into a cartoon, and I was like, what's going on here? Egon's got blonde hair and they wear different coloured suits But if it was on, I would. Oh, I'm not watching. I'm too old to watch this now. Then, okay, I'll watch it for 2 minutes. Then, I might as well watch the whole thing. So yes, I watched the cartoons as well, and then Ghostbusters 2 came out, and I mean, when Ghostbusters 2 came out, I was a father by then. So I didn't get to the movies to see that one. I had to wait till it came out on video. I don't think I could get a babysitter. But no, it was always more than just a movie.
That's great. I share your passion for Ecto-1.
Yeah. I wouldn't even like to guess how many times I've watched GB1.
Had I known,
GB1 and Batman 89 are the two movies I've watched most in my entire life.
Solid, man. Solid. I'm sitting across from all my Batman 89 stuff that's over on the other side of the room over here. That's yeah, 89 was an amazing year. So Ghostbusters 2 comes out. Now what's your favorite? 84 or Ghostbusters 2?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking both of you.
I may get hate mail for this. My favorite out of the 4 movies is Afterlife.
Oh no, you're not going to get hate mail for that.
I don't get hate mail if I said answer the call.
I'm allowed to like it.
I would say, and I'm not including answer the call in this, from the old school, I would say my least favourite of the 4 is Ghostbusters 2. It doesn't mean I don't like it.
Right.
But I would say my least favourite out of the 4 is Ghostbusters 2.
Fair enough.
Like I said, I'm not saying I don't like it.
Right. In order of succession,
finish last.
Be at the end. But now, do you like Ecto 1A?
Oh, we could start a whole conversation about it. I think Ecto 1A is a bit too busy looking.
Okay.
But I do love engaging the conversations with the people who insist that Ecto 1A is supposed to be a different car within the movie. And they'll say, no, Ecto 1A is Ecto 1 pulled into the shop and stripped and rebuilt. And that's canon. Oh, it's not canon anymore. How can something not be canon anymore? It's either canon or it's not canon. You can't pick and choose when something's canon.
Down the rabbit hole we go.
Oh, yes. But yeah, I think Ecto 1A, I think, is just a bit too busy. It's like the less is more of Ecto 1. So
would that mean that the Afterlife Ecto would be right up there at the top for you? Because I know as you know, as a gearhead or petrol head, like seeing the Ecto 1 in the barn with dust all over it, like it's aged, like that hit different for me. I was like, oh yeah, like I like this because I like barn finds. Watch some YouTube stuff on some barn finds if you're a car guy.
Yeah,
like that stuff is cool for me. So
right, I can tell you this much, right? There's a massive difference, right? Over in the States, you guys love patina, etc.
Yeah,
right. It's not big here. I'm not a huge fan of it. I like them. I like to see them clean and shiny and polished.
Okay.
Right. When I saw the mess Ecto 1 was in Afterlife, it crushed me. In fact, the line in the movie where Trevor calls it a piece of shit, I wanted to bleach into the screen and strangle him. How dare you speak to her like that? And also, this is something Laura and I have discussed. I've always thought that in the closing credits, Ecto 1 should have a credit. If Slimer gets a credit, Ecto 1 should get a credit.
I will agree with you on that because Ecto 1 is,
a character.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I mean,
she's a huge part of the movie.
She's a character in her own right. I've always said that.
She really is. And that, I think one of the things that really stuck with me from 84 on, being really into cars, was Ecto 1. Like, it's so iconic. you know, pretty much anybody in the world, if they see it, they know what it is.
Yep.
And I'm guilty of having a huge Ecto 1 diecast collection and whatever else I can get my hands on with Ecto 1 because it's just
Well, Graham,
So
there's your friend. He's got a huge diecast collection.
yes,
yeah, it becomes a problem at a certain point. But you know what? It's a good problem to have because we can have much worse. So
Yeah.
then the Frozen Empire Ecto 1 all shined up, red stripes on the fenders there. That was, you like that?
I can take or leave the red stripes on the fenders.
So can I.
They're not a deal breaker for me. Do I think it needed it? No, probably not. But it didn't ruin it. I was largely indifferent to it.
Yep. Yeah, and somebody actually just said over in the comments here, the Ecto 1 did get a credit at the end of Afterlife, I feel. It wasn't in words, but she did definitely get some love at the end of Afterlife there,
Yeah.
where you know, Winston
Yeah.
goes and talks to her, and you know, that's their baby. That's what makes that franchise go round.
We actually have if I could interrupt you, Lauren and
go
I
ahead.
have a friend who has, there's 4 59 Cadillac Ectos in the UK, and one of them in particular is actually a friend of ours, and he is the most incredibly beautiful. It's not a Miller Meteor, it's a Superior,
Mhm.
and it's red and white leather inside. It doesn't have the deck in the back. It has seats in the back, so it seats 9 people.
Ooh,
But it has, and you'll understand when I say this, it's got an LS1 engine,
hell yeah, brother. That's
and there's an Escalade box, and he has
oh
a 59 Cadillac, which does about 150 miles an hour.
jeez.
It's
That's
super quick.
that's hauling right there, man. That's impressive.
It is.
Oh wow. All right, I got to go look that up now and see if I can find that. Now have you ever actually
Ecto 1 Car Hire UK.
Ecto 1
That's where
Car Hire
you'll
UK?
find it.
All right, little shameless plug there. I love it. So have you either of you ever sat in a 59 Cadillac? Hearse
Yeah,
or
that one.
you?
Yeah.
So you have actually sat in it.
Mhm.
It's
We at Chaz, he had it at the show, and we got to look after it for the day. Even everyone got to sit in it and get pictures taken, and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
that
Mike found it in Albuquerque. It
really.
took him 5 years. He bought it for $15,000. It was an absolute wreck, and he shipped it over here to the UK. He spent a further £80,000 doing it up, but
It's
it's
stunning.
absolutely gorgeous. It is stunning.
That's crazy. But that shows dedication right there. Now I want to ask you both. So we've talked about Ecto 1. Now let's get into actually suiting up. What was it like for each of you the first time you put on the flight suit, the proton pack, and we're like, okay, I'm a Ghostbuster now. Like what were some of the feelings that you had and what kind of went through your head?
Putting on the flight suit for the first time and the pack, having the goggles, having your trap, having your PKE, you think, yes, this is it. I'm a Ghostbuster now. And you just straight into character. There's nothing else like it. You just, whoo, that's me. I'm in. I'm ready to bust some ghosts.
Right on. Graham, what about you? What was it like
The first time I put the flight suit on with the kilt, my first thoughts were, I hope it's not windy outside. I think
fair thought. Fair thought.
It's strapped it on. I think, to be honest, the first time it really kind of hit for us was when we had the car made into the Ecto. I think we had they arranged a parking spot for us, and we had the lights and the siren. So as we drove into the car park, we hit the siren, and I'm sitting there like, I'm the shit.
Yeah.
The downside, however, of driving an Ecto is you bring out every lunatic driver on the planet. You have to look and look and look again before you change lanes because you'll get somebody tearing up your inside to film you.
I could see that. Yep.
The great thing about having a hearse is the glass area is huge, so you can see for miles, but you look and then you look again. You never just change lanes because there'll be some idiot tearing up your inside, and you see him. He suddenly appears at your side, and he's there with his video camera pointing at you. I'm like, the hell is wrong with these people? What do you expect? I'm driving an Ecto.
I'm sure that gets attention. It's got.
Oh yes.
It's the same thing as well as seeing your franchise in a patch on your suit.
That's because you designed it.
You've worked. Oh, yeah.
I designed what actually happened was I designed the logo for Ghostbusters Alba, and I sent it to Laura, and she said that was terrible and tore it up and did it again.
Well, it came out amazing. So
yeah, it did.
Thank you.
I'm glad you guys were able to work that one out.
It's called knowing when to shut your mouth and do what you're told.
It's what I do. That's the thing. It's what I do. That's my job.
That's awesome. So you guys clearly enjoy doing this and suiting up and giving back. We know kind of what you liked about 84 and 89 and some of the other stuff. What are some of your thoughts on kind of what you'd like to see for the future of Ghostbusters? Now you got the Netflix series. There's lots of different ways that the next movie installment can go. What do you want to see?
I think it's Sorry, carry on, babe.
Obviously, we have the new family, so how they are going to continue, how much Phoebe and Trevor are going to grow as adults and as Ghostbusters, whether or not any of the older OGs will come back. Like obviously Winston, I hope he's in it. Some new ghosts, maybe bringing some of the cartoon ghosts into real world.
Sure.
I think would be quite interesting. More gadgets, definitely.
Gadgets and ghosts.
Kind of, gadgets and ghosts, and exploring more like I know for like ghosts in other countries, like maybe popping over, like, oh, we have a problem with a ghost in such and such area, like say it in Scotland, and having like a wee video call with somebody, like, yeah, we're in this castle, there's a ghost, yeah, a kind of thing. But that would be good, kind of branching out, have like wee things like that.
Yeah, I think they're missing the boat not doing Ghostbusters International. I'm just saying, there's a lot of meat on that bone there for Ghostbusters International to get,
especially in Scotland as well. We have so much folklore and haunted places that that even, like, was it the script for number 3? Was it that was meant to be in Scotland or something like that? I've heard of.
Original script for GB2 was set in Scotland.
That's what it was.
Yep.
I knew it was something like that. Yeah.
So Graham, what are your thoughts? Where would you like to see the franchise go from here?
I would like to see well, first of all, I would like to see you Americans calling Sahwine by his proper name and not call him Sam Hain. I would love to see Sahwine get brought onto the big screen and Jailjaw. Now, I don't know if you've heard this. I heard a rumour that scenes with Jailjaw was filmed in Frozen Empire, then ended up in the cutting room floor.
I did hear something like that. Yeah.
I'd like to see Safwine and maybe the Boogeyman. Some of the callback to the cartoons, but potentially Safwine. I think they would make a great storyline out of that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. He's one of the more popular characters in the, we'll call it the containment
Universe.
in the universe. Definitely something that I would like to see too.
Yeah.
So yeah, international, more ghosts, more gadgets.
Yeah.
And I think bringing some of those iconic cartoon ghosts to the big screen. We got the eyeball ghost.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
It's true.
Afterlife.
Why not? I mean, okay. In his own right, Muncher was a new ghost, but he was cute. Not as cute as Mini Puffs, but he was definitely cute. But I think one of my biggest complaints about not only Frozen Empire but Afterlife is we needed more ghosts. And that's I think all Ghostbusters movies in general. We want to see these guys pulling out the Neutrona wand and busting and trapping. Like that's we need more of that.
Maybe coming back as a series would be better than another feature length movie then.
Yep. I could definitely get behind something like that, because if you see what a feature length movie is, right? We only get to see everybody for, call it 2 hours. And then you've got your filler and your fluff in there. If you do a series and you figure out how long in actual hours that series is, it's multiple hours. There's so much story building that can happen there. So hopefully whatever is in the chamber here with Netflix is something that really builds upon what we really as Ghostbusters fans have been waiting for, right? Like, that's my hope of hopes, is that we just want more ghosts and gadgets.
Yeah, I'm going to be really controversial here and say that's what I loved about the 2016 movie. It was more ghosts, more gadgets, more Ghostbusters. And I think it got more girls into Ghostbusters, which I don't think is a bad thing at all.
Nope. I agree with you. As controversial as 2016 may be on the interwebs, I personally enjoyed the movie. I thought that
I did too.
The character,
I thought it was okay. I wouldn't have went out of my way to watch it, but it certainly didn't offend me watching it.
Right. I will go with the gadget thing too. Like I wasn't a big fan of the actual proton pack design, but I loved the wands. I loved my favorite.
I love the dual pistols.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I get goosebumps every time I watch that part, because the music hits just right, and here she is pulling them out and just basically going like wild.
Licks it. Insane.
That is quite clearly descending to Calamity Jane.
Yeah, I think that is one of the best scenes of that movie is right there. But I don't think it gets enough love, and there's going to be haters out there that are going to say, "Oh," but you know what? I don't feed into that. Everybody likes what they like, and that's the great thing about being a human being. You can like something that I don't like, and vice versa.
Yeah, and that's all right. You can not like the movie, but you don't have to go crazy about it like they do.
Right.
I mean, there's certainly nothing in the movie to inspire people to go nuts.
Right, and that's here in our franchises, like especially in ours, like we have members that are cosplaying as Holtzman. We have people.
I'm an Abby.
There you go. And you make a great Abby, but it's love what you love and run with it. We're doing it for fun. We're doing it to give back. By all means, let's go all in and just, spread the love. But
Yep.
what'd you think of that Ecto?
I didn't like it.
We had the chance to look after that one as well in the Transport Museum. It wasn't as popular, but a lot of people did come along to see it, so it was all good.
I didn't
And we
like
got to
it.
sit in that one as well.
You can't compare a 70s Cadillac to a 50s Cadillac.
You can't.
That's comparing apples to Etch a Sketches. You look at it and go, so it's not as an Ecto I didn't like. As a Cadillac, it's square and it's ugly. Even the car form. You look at the 59 Cadillac with the big fins and the swooping lines, and you look at this block.
Yeah, but then our Ectos and around the world aren't all Cadillacs. They're all different that we've put our souls into. So
Yeah. And they're ugly too. No, the 70s and 80s Cadillacs aren't, when you compare them to the 50s Cadillacs, they aren't pretty.
No, I'm going to agree with you very much so on that, because it's the curves, right?
Yeah, it's not just Cadillacs. Compare a 1984 Plymouth Fury to a 58 Plymouth Fury.
Two totally different cars.
That's not progress, is it?
No, it's not. The 80s definitely regressed in car styling.
Yes, absolutely. The 50s cars looked as if they were designed by an artist.
Yeah.
The 80s cars looked like they were designed by an accountant. In fact, they probably were.
They probably were. Let's save on styling. Boxy's better. So just, draw a box and put a roof on it and out the door you go. No, you're very right on that, on the styling. That's why I think the original Ecto 1 will always be the Ecto 1.
The icon.
Like the icon. Like I'm actually excited to see if in upcoming iterations of Ghostbusters, if we do get some type of updated Ecto 1 with something current.
I think it's time.
I think it's time too.
Yeah, it's time the 59 was retired.
Yeah, and for my petrol head, Graham, what car would you like to see? What's your ultimate dream Ecto?
What cars do I think would make good Ectos?
Yep. If you could have just one, what would you want?
Ooh. Probably Chrysler 300C.
Ooh,
wagon.
Nice choice.
Now I know you don't actually get them as wagons, do you? It's a Dodge Magnum you get.
So the Dodge Magnum is the equivalent, and there's quite a few that are Magnums that are
retrofitted the front end on. Yeah.
Yep. I have seen the retrofit.
Yeah, I think they make good Ectos.
I think you're right. And actually, we had a little round table a couple weeks ago where that was actually one of the ones that I brought up was the Magnum, because it's got some curves.
Yeah.
It's got a stance to it where it's a little bit wide.
Yeah.
You can put a Hellcat motor into it, and next thing you know, you got a 700 horsepower Ecto 1.
That would be
sounds like a good time for me.
The one that I'm surprised, I'm saying it's never been done. It may well have been done, and they've just vanished. I always thought the Saab 9.5 wagon would have made a good Ecto.
Yeah, which is Saab 9.5 is basically it's a Subaru WRX.
Yeah.
So, and that's you know what? I'd love to see a Subaru WRX or a Saab 9.5. Long live Saab, I tell you.
Yeah.
Sad day. Good cars. So, all right. So
good cars until GM bought them.
Basically, yeah. That's a story for another day. I think Graham.
That's
I think you and I are
podcast.
That's a whole other podcast. And stay tuned to the future of Why We Bust. We may actually just do an Ecto round table here one day. And Graham, I'd love to have you join us for that. So yeah, definitely. So we're coming to the end here. So I want to do a little bit of a speed round with you guys here, like I've done with some of the couple past guests here. So, all right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, favorite Ghostbuster: Ray, Peter, Egon, or Winston?
Egon.
Ray.
Slimer or Stay Puffed?
Slimer.
Stay Puffed.
I knew where that was going. Proton Pack or Ghost Trap?
Pack.
Pack.
Good choice. Favorite color?
Black.
Red.
Dogs or cats?
Cat.
Cat.
I was going to say, don't offend the cat behind you there, because or he.
Yeah, we have 3.
We have 3, yeah.
So this has been an absolutely amazing interview. Thank you both for coming on. So Ghostbusters Alba, we can find you guys on Facebook. You guys have Instagram too?
Yes. Alba Busters.
Alba Busters on Instagram. And then do you guys have any upcoming events you want to tell everybody about?
Yes. We've always
you can find a list of our events on our Facebook page. I've recently just put a big list up.
Our next event is the 1st of June. We've got a couple of weeks off. Is 1st of June in a vintage bus museum.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
We hope it is.
Yep.
Yeah, vintage bus museum in Bridgeton in Glasgow. Then we have a gala day the week after that. And then we have a car event the week after that. Then
you guys are going to have
the week after that.
You're going to have a...
Yeah, we're pretty much solid out every weekend for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Which we're so lucky to be able to
we're
have all
going to
these
enjoy
events.
these 2 weeks off.
Yep. Get
Isn't
lots of stock made for our merch stall.
For a while.
Isn't that amazing how that happens? Like you get a couple weeks of downtime, then it's like, oh my God, there's so many events coming up. But it sounds like you guys are ready for the task. So, well, hey, we wish you guys the best of luck. To everybody that's watching out there, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave some comments. That all helps all the YouTube algorithm stuff work its magic. But we want to thank everybody for joining us, and we want to thank both you, Graham and Laura, for joining us tonight, because this has been an absolutely awesome interview. So we wish you guys the best of luck out there. But I got to ask you one last question. Why do you bust?
This is the job we
because it feels good.
2 great answers. I love it. All right, guys. Thank you for coming on. Everybody out there that's watching, stay tuned. We're going to have another episode for you soon. And stay safe out there, folks. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.